The following video contains material centered around depression and sadness. So, in this case, viewer discretion is advised. It is early on a Monday morning. You are a mid-20s human being. You have a significant other named Alex, who you are rather fond of, that you have been seeing exclusively for the past few months. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job, which is a little boring, but pays the rent. You'd like to be doing more with your life, as would your parents. But you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. You are also dealing with motivation issues that sometimes makes dealing with these things difficult. You feel like this is probably your fault, and on bad days can feel inwardly angry and down on yourself for being lazy. But you are not quite sure how you can break out of it, or how other people deal with these feelings and seem so functional. You spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about this, but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. It's an unseasonably warm Wednesday evening. Actually, it is. I mean, it's not Wednesday, but it is very hot for it being almost fall. It's 11 o'clock at night, and it's still 79 degrees. And we're like 3 days away from the beginning of fall. You spent the past several hours at work. The past week or so, you've found your job motivation flagging, more so than usual. You've been in a fog practically all day today, simply going through the motions, without realizing that you're doing without realizing even what you've been doing half the time. I don't know why I can't read today. And yet time seemed to be moving at half speed. So you're so checked out that when your boss approaches you to tell you that it's dead and you can go home early, it barely registers. I'm going to read this one word at a time, actually, apparently. This is supposed to be a serious thing, but my inability to speak is noticeable. As you walk home, the streets hiss from the recent rainfall. You know that your significant other will be in classes until late, another couple hours at least. You briefly consider using the serendipitous solitude to catch up on that project that you've been working on haphazardly for the past few months. As soon as you think about the work that awaits you at home, you can feel the panic creeping in from the back of your brain. Unbidden, all you can think about is how incredibly far behind you are, and the amount of work seems nothing less than insurmountable. By the time you arrive home and change out of your uncomfortable work clothes, the stress is weighing down on you like a heavy, wet wool blanket. Your computer seems to be staring you down from your desk. It actually does. And my desk is in this room, which is on the other side of the house. You want to sit down and work, but the mere thought of trying to work sends your stress levels flying. More than anything, you feel suddenly and absolutely exhausted, and feel a strong desire to simply hide in bed. Okay, so we can't do the one that's in red, apparently. Do you reluctantly sit down at your desk and try and make yourself do something? Turn on the TV, telling yourself that you just need a quick half hour to unwind from work. Crawl into bed. You're so stressed and overwhelmed you couldn't possibly accomplish anything anyways. What's all this down here say? You are depressed. Interaction is exhausting and you are becoming more and more withdrawn. You are not currently seeing a therapist. Actually, I am. You are not currently taking medication for depression. Well, not anymore. Well, this is drawing on some personal information, isn't it? I mean, I'm a bit what you might call a workaholic. Not so much with my house duties, more so with getting stuff done that I'm more passionate about. Even if I'm not in the mood to do it, I'll still do it. So I'll do this. Reluctantly sit down at my desk and try and make myself do something. Ooh, there we go. You make a stop at your fridge. Yes, I do that a lot. Turn your favorite playlist on and sit down and start working. So we're listening to jazz then, because I do like jazz when I'm doing videos. I listen to jazz when I do my editing. It helps me relax. And sit down and start working. You open the last file that you were working on, and as soon as your hands touch the keyboard, your mind goes blank. You wouldn't believe how many times that's happened to me. All my videos are, except for a few short films I've done, are ad-libbed. I don't write anything down for these videos. I mean, I took improv classes when I was younger. These should pay off for something. All the motivation and ideas you had when you arrived home vanish in a flash. Your brain seizes up and you find yourself physically incapable of any sort of productive thought. You take a break to loosen up, popping into your elbow inbox. Popping into your email inbox, Twitter, and various other internet-based distraction fodder. Frustratingly, this pattern continues throughout the course of the evening. As soon as you try and focus on work, your brain diverts all the energy away from the task at hand. While you keep flipping back to your work, you find the sheer mental effort involved in keeping your brain focused is overwhelming and tiring. A few Twitter arguments, YouTube videos, and sparse amounts of actual work later, your playlist flips back to track 1, and the ice in your glass has all but melted, diluting the last dregs of the Coke you were nursing. Yeah, I hate when my Coke is watered down. You look at the clock, and realize that a few hours have passed since you sat down to work, and you've made negligible progress. I can just wake up early tomorrow and catch up. You think to yourself as you climb into bed, even though you know that never actually happens. And I'm going to end this video here. This is part 1, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.